What's up, boys? And today I am showing you how to add Alexander Radulov in NHL 16. We know he's not going to be there in NHL 16. They're not releasing any other roster updates, so you're going to have to create him. He's going to be there in NHL 17, but not in 16. And if you guys don't plan on buying the next one, it's going to suck for you to not have Radulov. So I'm just going to show you how to create him. So you're going to go Creation Zone. EA removed the option to create, your team, so it's down to only players. At least they left that. And I've already created him, so I'm just going to show what info you should add. Radulov, Alexander, the first name. His play-by-play name is Al. That's why I put it for him. You can choose something different because Alexander is not available. Radulov is not also. His player type is sniper. That's not contestable. Left wing, you might put him right wing if that's your preference, but if you want to stay accurate to where he really does play, it is a left wing. He was drafted in 2004 by the Nashville Predators, 15th overall. His salary is 5.725. I'm not sure if that's canon, but it's over 5.5 and it's below 6. So we're pretty close to the middle here. It is a 1 year, one-way contract. His handness is left. He is 6 feet tall. He is actually 6.01 feet tall. He is 200 lips, 200 pounds, whatever. He doesn't fight, but I was hesitating before between rarely and sometimes. So I went to sometimes. He is not a rookie. He was born in 1986, July the 5th, in Nugzaki something, Russia. I've said place of origin, it's definitely Russia. It's not even an option, but I put it Quebec because he played his minor hockey in Quebec for the Rapports de Québec, and I didn't feel like scrolling until finding Russia. It's not gonna change a single thing to his play. So if you look at his appearance, that's kind of what I got it for him. This is the head that I selected. So if you want to count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 in the third row of the 7th row down. That's about it. And the beard, I don't know. Look at the settings here. That's beard number, what is that? Number 5. It doesn't look canon like him. Doesn't really resemble him that much, but that's the best I could get. I did not even bother with the eye color. I didn't even bother with the equipment because he's definitely going to get some new equipment coming here. And the number 16 that I didn't mention is I have no idea what his preferred number is going to be. And he's definitely going to change his number with Montreal. We'll figure that out later. Here's what's important. Here's the rating. His overall, you want to make sure that's somewhere between 84 and 88. That's definitely between what EA are going to give him. His potential, you can choose between elite and top 6, in my opinion. Don't go franchise. Radulov's a really good scorer, but to think he's franchise, I think it's it's far-fetched. For his potential accuracy, if you're putting top 6, go high. If you're putting elite, go between medium and low. I went with medium. I'm really confident in his talent. But I'm kind of really hesitating here. I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt here, and I'll go medium. In case you're not really familiar with what Radulov is as type of player, he's a very offensive guy, a great skater, a hard shooter, a very, you could call him a poor man's Ovechkin. He has been compared to Alexander a bit, but they're definitely not on the same level. Okay, so I went with speed, 90. He's always been very fast. Body checking, 85. His endurance, I went with 81 because there's no way you can really find out how hard his endurance is. He hasn't played in the NHL for a while. It's hard to compare him in the KHL for how enduring he is because we don't really see any games. They're not really broadcasted here in North America. And all we see is highlights. So if you look at his play time just statistically, I don't think that's enough to judge, and we haven't seen him in an international competition for a while. Puck control, 87. I feel like that's a fair number. You can go down to 85. Passing, 85. He's a good passer, but he's clearly no Joe Thornton here. This is the shot power. In my opinion, it has to be in the low 90s. He's got one of those really powerful shots definitely the slap shot. The slap shot power can go down, but the wrist shot power has to be in the low 90s, in my opinion. If you're not agreeing with me, we'll just change the stat for yourself. It's not really a big of a deal. Agility, I'm going to go with 87 again. Could be 85, could be 88, 89, 87 feels right to me. Strength, I'm going to go with 87. I feel like he's a pretty strong guy. It's not really, EA doesn't really define what strength does, in the game. I think it's just your ability to protect the puck and all that. Fight off a stick check or maybe like that. So I think that's, fair. If you look at him, he's definitely not as strong as Shea Weber or any of these guys, but he is strong on the puck, and I think that's what the strength category means. Acceleration, I went at 90. He's a really explosive skater when he wants to. He's not really showing the effort all that often. Balance, that went at 80. Could easily be an 85. Could easily be an 80. So, I went at that number just to keep him at 84. The face-offs, I went with 44. I think it's in the 40s, definitely, because he's just not a center. I've never seen him take a face-off. He's not going to get, over 60 in the face-offs. Durability, again, there's nothing we can do to, really judge him on his durability. He hasn't really been injured, so I just went with 80, but he hasn't played in the NHL for a while, so it's really hard to judge him here. D-King, 88. He has really good hands. Not great hands. He's not like Patrick Kane, but he does have good hands. That's why I went with 88. His aggressiveness, I went with 86, but you could go so much higher. He is an aggressive player. He has that fire here. Poise, I went with 75, but again, you could go so much higher. That's really all up to your opinion about Radulov. I went with 75 again just to keep him at that 84 rating because I don't think he's going to get any higher next year, and I don't think I can bring down his shooting stats because he is a great shooter. Hand and eye, 88. Again, that can go down, that can go up. Shot blocking, 40. That can definitely go up, but he's not a great defensive player, and playing defense is all about will, and Radulov's will has been questioned quite a lot of times, so I went about 40. Offensive awareness, 95. You could go way lower with that, but you could put his defensive awareness way over 79 too. To me, he just doesn't strike me as a great defensive player, so I put him at 79. Discipline, I went at 36. He is probably one of the worst disciplined players, and he does say he has changed, or Marc Bergevin, the Montreal Canadiens general manager, says he has changed, but we have no proof whatsoever, so we're going to have to leave it that low, and he might redeem himself next year, showing that he's really changed. He's a lot more serious about hockey on and off the ice. But just with that highlight where he hits his coach in the face on the bench, his own coach, that to me that deserves a 0 discipline, and 36 is very generous, and it's just because I can't bring it any lower. His fighting skills, I went at 85, but I didn't really find much of him fighting, so I had no idea. Stick checking, 84. I think that's like the worst category. How can you evaluate a player's stick checking? Like, I get all the other ones, how you can evaluate them, but the fucking stick checking, I'm not even going to debate this one. Okay, so now that's done. There's still some stuff you have to do. Okay, he looks good with the Montreal Canadiens jersey, but just make sure. Now, I've already added him into the rosters, but at the beginning, he's not going to be a Montreal Canadien. Even if you make Pro Team Montreal Canadien when you're creating him, you're going to have to go here and select Montreal. Yep. And you're going to have to go with free agency here, free agents. And you're going to have to scroll down to the R's to Radulov. Now, I've already done this. I've already added him, so it's not a problem. You're going to see he's right here. He should pop up soon here. Come on, Alex. He's right here. But usually he's going to be in the free agents, and you're going to have to add him manually, okay? And that you're almost over. You almost have Radulov to play with. You're going to have to go to edit lines. Again, I've already done this. Play Montreal, and I've, put it the lines that I wanted. First of all, usually he's on the right wing spot on the first line. He is the left wing. I don't expect him to compete with Pacioretty for that first line spot, just because Pacioretty has some great chemistry with Galchenyuk going on, and Gallagher. I think that line's really going to be solidified chemistry-wise. So Radulov's going to be bumped down. He might play on the power play with these guys, but I think he's going to play with Plekanec and Shaw to start the season. As you can see, those are two teammates that he's going to get with that are not great offensive creators. Plekanec's not a bad player. He's just starting to get a little old, and he's a very responsible defensive guy also. Shaw is definitely a grinder. I think that might work with Radulov, a guy that crashes the net, picks up his rebounds. That's the lines that I set, and I think those are the highest odds lines that the Montreal would start the season with. You can go ahead and put Delarose on that first line if you want, with Torrey Mitchell and Gallagher. Have Radulov play on the bench. It's up to you. And that's all you have to do to add Alexander Radulov. You're not going to see his real face. A little bit of a bummer here. But that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful to you. If you're not buying NHL 17, this is a major key on getting Radulov, and that's, really if you're that picky gamer that really wants to have the real player name. Unfortunately, when the commentators talk, they're going to say Al. So I really hope this was helpful to you guys. And if you want to see the sim of Radulov's first season with the Montreal Canadiens, well, definitely subscribe to the channel. That's going to be coming out in the next few days.